everybody. How's it going?
How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
How was day one?
Day one's pretty cool. Pretty cool to be out here finally on the football field with all these guys, coaches, players, staff, whoever else. And it was a great day. Great day to be out here in Sunnyside, California, practice field. So.
What's this last month or so just kind of been like? Just a whirlwind, I'd imagine, for you?
It's been a little weird. I wasn't ever expecting to be here, and now I'm here. So I'd say we have a lot of similarities from workouts and verbiage and language, like just talking to the coaches, talking to strip staff and things like that. And hearing that, as we know, a bunch of coaches came here from there, my old school. And like I said, it's just a little weird because you have new colors, new logos, and all these other things. So it's a little weird, but it's been really fun. So.
Most expected you to make this move after Lincoln came. You played it out. You took your time. What went into that process, and at what point did you actually know you were coming here?
So if you followed me in high school, I was very detailed with all of my recruiting process. I wasn't just going to make an impulsive movement and go somewhere because I didn't want to be in the transfer portal. It was never my goal throughout my recruiting process. It didn't happen that way, but very detailed. So that's what took so long. Just making sure everything was right, everything was set in place. I was trying to figure out, if it was going to be here, if it was going to be Wisconsin, if it was going to be UCLA, if it was wherever else it was going to be. But obviously I'm here. I'm a Trojan, and can't wait to get things going.
What was the biggest question you had about USC that you had to kind of answer through the process?
Biggest question. That's a pretty good question.
That's what I did.
Biggest question, I'd say it was mainly asking Coach Riley some questions about, just kind of getting back together, because I wasn't able, NCAA rules and things like that. I'm not able to talk to coaches. I'm not able to talk to anybody, no other school except for the school that I was at. And I didn't talk to him for, a month, 2 months, whenever I hit the transfer portal, and between where he left and then when I hit the transfer portal. So kind of getting the groove of things, kind of seeing how it felt with him being out here, and not talking to him for a while, him leaving. It was kind of weird, kind of finally being able to speak to him, but that was really it, kind of seeing how things went.
What was that like when you reconnected?
It was actually a really big relief to be able to speak to him, because before I actually went to Oklahoma, I built such a great relationship with him and the other people, and other people that came here, strength staff and the other staff included, not just Coach Riley. That was a big piece for me, is that it wasn't just about Coach Riley and him being here. Obviously, I love Coach Riley and his family and things like that, but the rest of the family that came with him that I loved, and that was really big. Because he actually had Clark Shroud when I FaceTimed him when I hit the transfer portal. It was awesome. It was a really big relief.
Coach talked about how this is going to be a really unique roster by the time everything's all said and done.
Yeah,
how much research did you put into the roster before you made a decision?
So actually, I know a lot of guys out here already because I come out here and train all the time. A bunch of guys here were highly recruited athletes and things like that. So I didn't put too much into the roster, but it is a pretty unique roster. We got a lot of transfers, and that's pretty unique, especially USC's history. They've always been able to get whoever they wanted by recruiting and things like that. But having how many guys we have from the transfer portal, plus the guys here from SoCal or all the other places that were already here through recruiting and not the transfer portal. It's a pretty unique group, and it's been awesome. We connected, and the culture's been pretty good. So,
how'd you find out Lincoln was coming to SC? What was the thought process when that all went down?
When did I find out?
Yeah.
We all found out together as a team at the old school. And what was your last coach?
What was the thought process going through your mind when that news hit you?
It was a little rough because, like I said, I built such good connection with him, and I didn't think he was going to leave, but he ended up leaving, and that was all good. And at that point, it was to be there with the guys that I was with, go win that next game that we had, because we did have a bowl game up, and that was my main focus, my main goal, to make sure that the guys that wasn't going to be able to come back there or to another school, was make sure that they went out with a win in the bag. So it was rough, but got through it.
You know, Lincoln talked about wanting you to step in as a leader.
Yep.
How tough is that? Just kind of coming in a little bit late, and then you're stepping into a brand new locker room, like you said, new logos, new colors, everything. What's that process like for you?
I've done it before. I stepped in at Oklahoma, and even though I wasn't the starter then, I still stepped in and tried to lead, and tried to find ways to lead. And now I have a bigger responsibility, and I'm all fine with taking that responsibility and leading these guys to where we want to go.
How do you handle all the hype that comes with your arrival? There's Heisman talk, and you're on Good Morning America. That's a lot to bring with you.
How do I handle it?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Focus on the guys here. Like I said, focus on leading these guys. Those guys will get me to there, and I'm going to help those guys to get to our main goals, which is national championships. And we're going 1-0 every week. That is my main goal. I don't really focus on my own goals. Obviously, I mean, who wouldn't want to have a Heisman? Who wouldn't? But it's not one of my goals, but not really the goal of the team, and that's what we're focused on here.
Only 2 scholarship quarterbacks right now. How's your relationship with Miller Moss and you guys working together out there at practice?
Awesome. I've known Miller before through camps and things like that. Last time that I saw Miller was Elite 11, so it was only about a year and a half ago. So it hasn't been too long. So we kept in touch. All the quarterbacks from that Elite 11 thing, we all have a group chat. We've texted every once in a while, but me and Miller are fine. We have a great relationship. We collab on things, and we talk things through in meetings, on the field, off the field, wherever we need to. Relationship's great.
Is it going to be tougher though with only 2 scholarship quarterbacks, or?
Maybe a little tougher on the shoulder, but other than that, we're going to get some guys in here to help us out. Coach Riley's going to do a phenomenal job in recruiting, things like that. And we're going to be just fine.
When you stepped into the leadership role in Oklahoma, the culture was already set there. It was a successful program here. This is a 4-8 program last year, and you're trying to establish the culture. What's the difference as a leader? In that culture?
Knowing, like you say, coming from a culture that's a winning culture, and here it is a winning culture. If you go look at the legacy, the history, it's a winning culture. But coming from a losing culture very recently, and then me coming from a winning culture, and a bunch of coaches coming from a winning culture, and having a determination to step in, make sure we change the culture, because the culture is one of the biggest things, if not the biggest things, to help you win games and have a winning culture. So
Let's do one more.
You talked about doing your homework so much as you looked at these schools. What's something you only learned about SC after you got here?
Something I learned about SC after I got here. Gotta do a lot of walking. even from the garage to the facility. Gotta do a lot of walking. That is, man. I probably should get a scooter, but that's the main thing that I learned is walking. Has been, it's a lot of walking. You gotta have great time management walking around campus. So
Thank you, Caleb.
Yep, of course.
Thanks,
Thank
Caleb.
you.